Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Esdeath, and today we're going to be comparing the trial units All-Star. Now, they have very similar skill trees, pretty much both maxed out with no duplicate units. Level 80, full triple S, same trait, which is All-Star. We're going to go ahead and compare them. Alright, so both these units are around the same price. Esdeath is a little bit more expensive. I think she's 2,700. You can basically top the price. So she's 2,600, and then Akainu is 21. Off placement, she does do more DPS, but you also have to remember that he does burn, which I'll put up the damage DPS like somewhere on the screen. So what his actual damage is with burn, which he has burn on all upgrades. But off placement, low key, like I think Esdeath is just a little bit better. She's a stunner, more DPS, bigger AOE. It kind of does have a lot more range, but the AOE is worse. He is also multi-hit, and she is not. Off placement though, I'll definitely give it to Esdeath, but she is a little bit more expensive with less range. So it's kind of like, they're both pretty OP off placement. Alright, so next upgrade, we're just going to go one at a time. Here is his DPS with the burn, it should pop up now. And then Esdeath does 3,000, which I believe from this point on, with his burn damage, he is doing more damage. But she's a stunner, has a lot less range. Let's go to the next upgrade. Next upgrade, he does pretty good damage, still a lot of range. Next attack though, he does get another thing. Same with Esdeath, 4,200 DPS, 3,000, about 500. I believe with the burn, he's better all around in terms of DPS, but she does have the stun or the freeze. Let's go to the next upgrade. So he does 5,032 DPS now, and she does 5,299. So he basically closed the gap in terms of the damage. Still has like a lot less range than Akainu, and the AOE is now bigger. So yeah, he definitely is better, it seems, at some upgrades. Let's go next upgrade. He does 6,690. Hopefully he... Okay, that's it. Upgrade 6,877. Ooh, Akainu's just barely ahead. Still does freeze, still does burn. They keep those for a while. Well, Akainu actually keeps this forever, but next upgrade, 8,400 DPS. Let's see, Esdeath, 8,500. I'll put up the burn damage numbers up here, but I'm pretty sure he's doing better in terms of damage. Upgrade. So new attack, he changes his AoE to line with 10,300 DPS, and she is doing... Are they really on the same upgrade? There we go. There's the next upgrade. She does 10,300. Wait, they do the exact same on this upgrade. Well, he does burn, but she loses her stun, but she gets a time stop, which makes her meta for sure. Like this time stop is a 4-second time stop, so of course she's gonna be pretty OP. Also, her range caught up as well. They're about the same range, and I'd probably pick the circle over the line, to be honest. It's kind of map dependent. Let's go next upgrade. So 24,000, getting a little bit expensive here. 12,500 DPS, pretty good. And then she's doing 12,100. And then she has also 2 extra upgrades. So kind of only has 1. But as of right now, Akainu is the better DPS pretty much throughout all the upgrades. But she's more of like a support. But let's see what Akainu's ability brings to the table. So I'm currently max. He's gonna have to. So this is his next upgrade. I'm just gonna tell him to upgrade. Well, before actually, he does 13,800. She does 13,900. Mine's already maxed. I'm just gonna tell him to max it out. In terms of the range, hold up, 37 range, same AOE as well. They both have. Wait, they both have the exact same range. Literally the exact same. In terms of DPS, she does more on paper, but with the burn, he's doing a lot more. So here it is on screen. Also, he does have an ability. So she has a time stop for an ability, which makes her meta support. And also, she's a good DPS. And Akainu is just a DPS. So basically what his magma meltdown does is it randomly places 2 magma pools, which are basically just traps. And then they go anywhere in his range, which they're already over here, and they basically just go anywhere in his range randomly. And you can have up to 6, which is the max amount, and then any enemy that walks into it obviously takes damage, and also is afflicted with burn off that multiplier, which he does 7,000 damage per trap, and also inflicts burn off of it, which is pretty OP, which means that he's really good for killing bosses. So honestly, they're both meta units for sure. Akainu is a meta DPS for pretty much everything. And then Esdeath is pretty much meta support, but she's also a good DPS at the same time, and also like super good for trial too. Akainu isn't unfortunately good for any of the trials except for, well, he'd be good for trial 2, I guess, but he doesn't have like a buff in there or anything. Honestly, they're both like pretty OP. If I had to say what one is better though, I think Esdeath might just edge him out a little bit. In terms of how long they'll be meta for, Esdeath will definitely be better for longer, as this is the best time stop in the game, and it's probably gonna never be. Well, there'll probably be a better time stop eventually, but probably not for a while. And also, I think that she only does 1 hit throughout all of her upgrades, or maybe 2. Maybe she does a few actually. I know Akainu does a few hits on his first upgrade and his last. Man, they're both so good. Honestly, it depends on what you're looking for. If it's like infinite mode, probably Esdeath. Anything else though, I mean, Akainu is going to be really good in it, but also she is too. It's such a hard decision. Honestly, just go for Esdeath. I think she might be a little better. If you don't even have All-Star 2, she's actually technically better because you have 4 time stops, and you can place 4 for with Genesis, which makes her kind of insane. But the All-Star just makes it where she's just insanely strong. She has like a really good DPS. 15,700 compared to 13,800 with burn. Kind of goated units. Now just out of curiosity, I want to see what they'll get. Just duo, although the air units are going to be a problem, so I'm going to have to kill them with something here. So it says that you can place a maximum of 6 traps, but if you actually count it, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which I guess if you get All-Star, it just combines all the traps into one maybe. I'm not sure though. One's about to leak here. Also, I just wanted to show you guys really quick with buff. They're pretty good. So with buff, 22,000 DPS and then 20,000.7k, which I'll put up the burn damage DPS here, like with his DPS, his base DPS and the burn. Also, I recommend just autoing his ability. So I will upgrade, or I will pop this, the 75% damage. We could just see what it is. We'll do it now. So 75% damage, we're looking at 27,500 DPS. And then with the Akainu, he's doing 24,200, and then here's the burn DPS along with his main DPS. Pretty OP. Also, burn is stackable, so there's the time stop. Pretty OP. They're walking through the traps now, which we're going to leak soon. But they made it to maybe 40 solo. Hold up. Probably going to kill it. Also, I do have Burly down just the airs because I can't actually hit it. He's not that high upgraded, though, and he's targeting airs. We didn't leak. Hold on. We're building back up the traps, hopefully. No, we're definitely dead. These have way too much HP. But yeah. Pretty OP. Honestly, go for Esdeath, and then go for Akainu second, as they are both really OP. I just think Akainu, or it just makes more sense to go for Esdeath, as she's better in Trial 2, and she's also just OP, is, you know, really OP. Thank you guys for watching, though. I appreciate every one of you guys that made it this far. Please like and subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.